Okay, we are in Facebook Live. Welcome, welcome, everybody. This is your girl, CoWano Stanley, the confidence coach, and we are here with another guest on the Confidence Talk, Natasha Hunter. Now, we are still talking about confidence and how important confidence is in your life, in this moment, in this time, especially in 2024. The things that's going on in life with your mental health, confidence is important that you believe in yourself, you understand who you are, you know who you are, you know where you're going in life, and you're not allowing life challenges or life things that are happening to stop you from knowing who you are and believing in yourself. So today we're going to have another conversation with an amazing woman, and I'm going to let her give you a little information on who she is, and we're just conversation. This is no form of interview type stuff, but I want you to go ahead and put in the chat where you're from, where you're tuning in from, and just listen to it. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. I'll try to check it every now and then as we go through the conversation of confidence. Now, Natasha, go ahead if you want to give a little bit about who you are and a little bit of your background.
Okay, well, hey everybody, I'm Natasha Hunter. I am originally from Minneapolis, Minnesota, class of 95, North High Polar. Hey. So I have completed 20 years of naval service. So I'm a 20-year active duty Navy vet. I am the owner, creator of Chocolate Chick Apparel. That company has been around since about 2014 or so, with the latest iteration of that. And I am also a single mother, a beautiful daughter, Aries Moon, who's doing her thing. And confidence has been and it's been one of the key factors to me getting to where I am in my life. I left Minneapolis when I was 17. And so I joined the Navy full time at 17 years old. I haven't lived at home since then. And if it wasn't for developing confidence, feelings of self-worth and things like that, I wouldn't have made it. So,
Wow,
um,
wow. Well, thank
for
you for
real.
that. And give us a little background on, I know I read your bio on how, you went through as a little girl with some of
Yeah.
the, trauma issues dealing with as a young Black girl and some of the stuff you may have went through. Give us a little
Right.
background of what that looked like for you when it came to your
Okay.
confidence.
Okay, so let's see. My parents divorced when I was 2 years old. At that time, I guess, probably the strain of that was hard on my mom. So I went to live with my aunt for a little while. I went back to live with my mother. And then when I was 12, which if you think about where you are when you're 12, you're fifth grade, sixth grade, I stopped living with my mom. We had some family tragedy, trauma, and it just wasn't a good place for me to be. So I went to go live with my aunt for about a year and a half. So you see that during that pivotal time, I had a lot of transitioning going
Mhm.
on. And then I ended up living with my father until I left for the Navy at 17. So at those moments where it was like I needed my mom, I didn't have her. So that definitely caused some adjustment issues for my preteen years. And I took some hits to my confidence, which led me down personally. It led me down some dark paths or whatever. But professionally, I plugged into that and I put all my confidence into being the best sailor I could be, going to school, getting my degrees, and all this and that. So in 2015, I retired and it was over. And so everything that I had used my confidence for, it was over. I completed it. And
Mm.
so I had to find a new confidence, which is where I'm at now, right? Almost 10 years later, which is developing my confidence in Natasha Hunter as a person, not what she can do, but who she is.
Wow, that says a lot. So you separated your confidence from being an individual to your business side, which was the Navy. So you
Right.
had the confidence in doing that, but yet you put the personal side on the back burner. Wow. Wow.
Why?
So how
I
many of
mean,
you heard her say she lost her confidence because she needed her mom? Her mom wasn't in her life. So she put it all into the Navy side. So she had it on one side, but she didn't have it on the other side. How many are you right now dealing with us? You're putting your confidence off on one side, but you have it on the other side. And there are probably plenty of people who don't even realize they've done that. So, what did
yeah.
you do to try to work on the personal side of your confidence with as the individual and knowing who you are?
Well, the first thing I had to do was take a moment and realize that. Going back to what you said about how you don't even realize that when it came to getting towards the end of my naval career, I was faced with what are you going to do next? Who are you going to be? And I didn't know what I liked. I didn't know anything besides this is my objective and grind towards it. So that's kind of where Chocolate Chick started to come into play, right? Um, I started looking at who I was as a woman in a whole different way. So when the company first started, probably like in 2007, that was just based around being a dark skinned girl, right? And the
Okay.
things growing up. People didn't like us that much. Let's just keep it a buck and
Mm-hmm.
say it how it was. People didn't like us that much. And as I left my home pattern and went out into the world, there were other people that liked us a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it
Yep.
was like, how do you claim that part of it when you were brought up with the idea of people, not really caring for you, you're dark skinned, you're not special, and then you go out into the world and other people are like, oh no, you got it going on. So it was like, how did I marry that?
Mm-hmm.
So with Chocolate Chick, it took confidence, right, to do that. But at the same time, it built my confidence, if
Mm.
that makes any
Yeah.
sense.
No, that makes totally sense. So how did you even get into the chocolate chick? What is based on you just trying to figure out who you were?
Yes. I mean, it was just like who I didn't feel bad. Why are you telling me I'm not cute? Why are you telling me I'm not attractive or things like that? So the chocolate chick bold on this shirt, should have wore the OG shirt today, but I was thinking about the new stuff. It was the bold proclamation that I got it going on. You see me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine, I'm confident, I'm happy. And that's how that started. So it was just Chocolate Chick because it was based on me for us people like me. And then other women were like, well, hey,
Yeah.
I want a shirt that, proclaims who I am too. And so that's how we branched out to Butter Pecan and Caramel Cutie, Butter Pecan Bombshell, Caramel Cutie. And
Mm-hmm.
then after that, other women were like, well, I don't really identify with that, but I want shirts that, affirm me.
Yes.
And so that's how we launched into like the brown sugars and the black. So it just each time it was me going to another level of myself and other people saying, hey, what about me? And then we
Wow.
created with that.
So how did you, with your confidence, you still working on learning who Natasha is? How did you
Yes.
work yourself through some of the trauma issues as a young girl, not having your mom there? How did you work through and navigate through those issues? Like, did you get therapy? Did you get,
Okay.
started doing the self work? Because I tell people all the time, you got to do the self work of yourself. I don't care what you go through in life. There's always going to be something that tests your confidence, that tests who
Yes.
you are as an individual. Are you really who you are? Okay, well, if you are, let me test you in this area, because that's what life
Facts.
does. You're so
Facts.
bold in stuff, you're so proud in certain areas, but it will test you in those simple areas to see if you really are who you say you are. So how did you
Yes.
navigate? What tools and strategies did you use to kind of get through that trauma piece? Because we still live in times where people are living as grown adults, living in their trauma from great, as a grade school, high school, teenager years. They're still living through that trauma, and it shows through their adulthood.
So my stint as a motherless child, it propelled me when I became pregnant with my child to figure out what was going on.
Mhm.
Um, like most mothers, whether you're partnered or not, you're probably scared, right? When you first, you're like, oh snap, there's no going back. I can tell you when I first heard that heartbeat, I said, oh my.
I think
Like,
we all did when we first became mothers.
yeah, okay, so you can relate. So it just got like really real for me. And when the realization came that I was going to be doing it alone, I said, I need to use every tool at my disposal to be the best mother that I could be. Right.
Mhm.
And so at that point, I got involved in the therapy. I've I've seen 4 therapists. Like in this whole time, I've been going to therapy. Moon is 12, so I've been going to therapy for about 10 years or so.
Okay.
And I just move around and I just discover the layers of it. Once you start healing, you'll start realizing that there's layers.
Yeah.
I saw my first therapist and I thought, okay, I'm good after that. But
Mm-mm.
then as my daughter developed, another layer of my pain
Came out.
became obvious. So just in prayer. I don't want to leave God out because we've kind of gotten to manifestation, universe. That's cool. Um, that's cool. But God, like even just from those beginning traumas as a little girl, but God.
But
So
God. Yeah. Yeah. I tell people all the time, I moved to Vegas 3 years ago and I haven't gotten a therapist since I've been here yet, but I had one in
yes,
Minnesota. And I tell people it's important to get therapy. Even if you're just not going through anything in the moment, you need an outlet to pour somewhere into because sometimes family and friends is just not that safe space. Sometimes it is and sometimes it's not because when you go to somebody you don't know, they don't know you. So they're giving you
yes,
stuff based on their perspective of what they see,
right.
and they're giving you an outlet because they don't know your background. They're only going by what you're telling them. And you
Yes,
have a better outlet to allow them to hear you and they're listening. They're not giving you a
facts.
response until you really got it all out. They allow you to release everything. And I tell therapy is needed. It's not
Yes,
in our culture, I don't need no therapist. I've got it. And we really don't got it. Yes, we
and
have God, but God uses those other people, those people that are licensed to help us
yes,
some of the stuff we get through. And people are afraid
definitely.
to go see a therapist, especially those who have been dealing with trauma from years and years and years. It affects your
Yeah.
confidence in every area of your life.
And you have to remember that your friends and family, no matter, even you, right? When you give advice, you're going to be a little biased. Okay. And if you're the first one to like step out of, okay, this is our norm, this is how we're doing things, but
Mhm.
I think it could be a little better, and you're the first one to step out, you have to keep in mind that the message they may be receiving is that there's something wrong with them. And nobody wants to receive that message
Right.
until they want to correct themselves, right?
Yes.
So that's why another reason why it's important to step out of your usual zone of friends and family and get that fresh perspective.
Yeah, I totally agree. You definitely need that freshness. Because
Yeah.
like I said, friends and family, they're gonna be a little biased because they like, well, I know you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, you're not gonna get that from a therapist because they're looking from all perspectives. You know what I'm saying? We
Right.
have more of a wider space to look outside versus family and friends really don't, you know.
Yes.
Um, in the moment, so we know you're confident. You done went through your Navy, got the chocolate chick going, you know who Natasha is. How do you maintain to keep your confidence when life still shows up?
Well, I'm gonna say I'm learning who Natasha is.
Okay,
At
okay,
46, she's a lot different than who she was at 34.
right.
So, and this Natasha she's been a mother, she's done all these different things, and it's really having the autonomy of time. So, how do I keep my confidence? Man, this is gonna be a hard one, but I tune out other people's voices.
Mm.
When you're on your own journey, at least for me, because I've also like to think matured away from telling other people what to do
Mhm.
necessarily and just more tell you what I'm doing.
Mhm.
Um, I can't hear everybody's voice. I have to be able to just hear mine and God's
Mm.
and just be in tune to that space. So I think a mistake that I made when I was looking for inspiration was I looked externally, see what everybody else is doing, what they're,
Right.
that's what we should be. And that was sickening me. Like
Mhm.
it was making
Yeah.
it worse because I was like, maybe this is what I should be doing instead of listening to myself. So I stepped away from it. I said, popularity be damned, right? Because I have to get right with me.
Yeah.
So I just, took what could be a L and just got away from the spotlight and everything and got quiet.
Yeah.
And spoke to the people that mattered most, which is, my immediate circle, my nucleus,
Yeah.
and God,
Yeah. And
and
that's
went to
important.
therapy.
And then I think that's important is being to know, recognize to get away. Take a
Yes, for
step back
sure.
and get in a quiet moment, you and God, and God, seeing where God, what you want, what you need to do. And I think some
Yes.
people are afraid of being alone and being by themselves. So they keep themselves surrounded with so much, but it's so much noise. You can't hear anything. You can't grasp anything. Sometimes God needs you by yourself.
And
And
FOMO is so real. That fear of missing out. If I don't know what's going on, but I haven't missed that much. I might not know what's going on, but it's not that hard to catch up
to
if I
catch up
want
because
to.
people gonna talk.
Yeah,
And you go, but
exactly.
with social media, you can always go back. Let me Google this to
Yeah,
see what
somebody
happened
will
then.
let but in the meanwhile, you're missing yourself. So
Yes, yes. And I like the fact that me even starting this journey of confidence and speaking on confidence. It was a. I think I didn't realize it until I got in a place, and one of my coaches, which was Trevor Otts at the time, he
mhm.
literally asked me the question, and nobody had never asked me the question of, do you realize your confidence is strong and where it came from? And it made me start thinking. That's how I came out with the Startup Women Alliance, which is really, if people look at my logo for Startup Women Alliance, it's women holding up a crown. And
Yeah,
I'm just like, wow. So that's where the start of me speaking on confidence came out with asking, like, I need to help more women. I can only speak for women. It doesn't exclude you men because I know men deal with confidence issues too.
for
But
sure, for sure.
it's the more of helping more women learn how to reclaim their confidence, because I was in that space where I had to reclaim my confidence and I needed to
Yes.
increase my confidence. How do I get to that place? We're going through domestic violence in three different
Yeah.
relationships for 16 and a half years. Most people didn't even realize I was going through it. Most people knew I was in relationships that might have not been healthy and they were toxic,
Yeah.
but most people didn't. Most of my family and friends didn't realize what I was going through. So I had to get myself in a place, especially after me trying to commit suicide in 2012,
Mm.
to come in that place of get to know who you are. I had to go back to the basic of God, which is what I
Yes.
grew up on. And I had to start building up me. And it took
Yes.
time. It wasn't overnight because it took time getting her out of those relationships. They
For
didn't
sure.
happen
For sure.
overnight. And sometimes those relationships, they can hinder you from your purpose driven life, from your goals, from your dreams, because you don't have the confidence. And
Yeah.
I always use the story of, if you bought a, if when you want a new rug and at your front door, you go get it, you find the nicest, brightest, vibrant rug that you have, and you sit it at your front door. But the moment you start allowing people to come in your front door, stepping on that every day, every single month, year, time go by, you look at that rug one day and it's diminished.
Yes.
It's faded away, and that's what happened with my confidence. My confidence faded away through the verbal abuse, through the physical abuse, and eventually affected the mental to where I didn't realize I had a lack of confidence.
That's right.
So for who I am
And
today, I continue to increase my confidence by using tools like the prayer, the meditation,
yeah,
good gospel music or any type of energy music that uplift me to make me
yes,
feel good about who I am. And I do the self work, I do the personal development. Most people don't want to do personal development because of the fact that they want it consists of change.
that and the pain.
Yep. Tapping
Um,
into yep, that root
yeah,
cause.
yes. Getting into that pain. And I can understand that because it does hurt. And you
Hmm.
think like that initial, when you go back into that, it hurts so bad
Yeah.
because you've been hiding it and you've been covering it up and all kinds of different things. But I think once you get into that and you're like, okay, it's really not that bad, or
Hmm.
you feel that pain and then you feel the healing balm come up out of that, it helps. And I want to say one thing. I just want to make sure I get this out, regardless of what happens to the rest of this. I belong to this women's group. It's a single black motherhood or something that's so terrible that I can't think of the name right now, but it's something along those lines.
Hmm.
But on our last retreat, yeah, it was the last one. The leader, Kim Williams, she's our fearless leader. One thing she said that when I need a quick confidence boost in the minute is that confidence comes from keeping your word to yourself.
Mm.
And so I think about that like when I'm laying in bed and it's time to go to the workouts. And I'm like, man, bust that. I'm not getting up. And I'm like, okay, you want to look good on your next retreat? Get your body together. You told yourself
Mm.
you were going to do that. So I go to the workouts and I feel better afterwards because I
Hmm.
know with that sweat, junk came out. And that can be in just smallest things. If you say you're going to start saving money, right? Maybe one trip to Starbucks. Instead of taking that trip, you put that into a little sock cup,
Yeah.
whatever you're using.
Hmm.
You started saving money. At the end of the month, you have your like probably $25 now from that once a week. You started
Yeah.
doing that. Your confidence will come as you bring that. So if there's one thing that I want to give people that was given to me, it's that your confidence will come from keeping your word to yourself.
Wow. Wow. Confidence comes from keeping your word. Y'all heard her say confidence comes from keeping your word to yourself. You have to
Yeah.
find out what your confidence is.
Yeah.
Many people are afraid of their gifts and talents and afraid of just even tapping into that area. And
Yes.
I mean, like as life goes on, you got to figure out where you fit in at for you and God. Because at the end of
Right.
the day, it's God's will be done, not your will be done. You
And
know?
that is so true because I will say a lot of the Navy was my will. A lot of it. Of course, God provided the opportunity and the way, but it was a lot of me saying, they're not going to deny me. I'm going to push forward this, and that. But now in becoming Natasha, I have to sit back and listen. And it's a
Wow.
total different type of confidence. It's, having to deal with missing out, not being in the spaces, not being in the places to be Natasha as her whole self. So,
So you
yeah,
can honestly say you've been submissive to God then, right?
there you go. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That is
and
good.
it's and I feel better than ever right now in
Wow.
this quietness. It's I've My mom just left and there was just so many times throughout her visit I was like, I'm just overjoyed, like
Wow. So
this
you
is where
build
I'm.
throughout losing that confidence as a child with your mom not being there. Did you
Mhm.
rebuild that relationship?
We're in the process of it. I'm
Okay.
proud to say that this year I don't think she would mind me sharing that she has started therapy. Now
Okay.
remember, I said I've been going for about 10 years, so
Okay.
that's how long,
Wow.
right? Yeah.
Okay. Well, praise God to that, at least starting the process and you're starting to build that because that just
Yes,
shows for those you out there who may be dealing with any type of trauma that relationships can be rebuilt. You know what I'm saying?
for
God
sure.
created relationships. We was not made to be by ourselves. So
Facts.
you're learning and going through that. That's amazing. I praise God for that. That's amazing, and praise God for you even being open enough, going through the therapy of 10 years to allow mom back in that space. because we,
Yes.
through life, I've seen where people didn't allow those people that hurt them in their space again.
Right.
So it takes a God given person to be able to open up and say, look, this is what I did wrong. This is where I'm at, but I've gone through therapy. I'm forgiving you, but I now
Yes.
am here to open that door back up so we can rebuild, because
Yes.
relationships aren't important, you know. We
Yes.
only get one mom, we only get one dad, if we have a sister and brother, we only get that. So
Yep.
to rebuild the relationships, it takes a strong individual and just a humble person to say, I was hurt, but now I want you back in my life.
Yeah.
And confidence plays a big part, even with having confidence in God to help you rebuild those relationships.
And making sure that you do your work yourself to establish the boundaries that, yes, I want you back, but we're not going to allow for these types of issues.
Yes.
That's important. People, we know how to love and have somebody there hurting us, hurting us, hurting us. But do you know how to cut it off and say, yes, you're important and I want you here, but these are my boundaries. These are the parameters which you must act in for us to have a good relationship. And that's the only kind of relationship I'm going to have with
And
you.
you said an important word, boundaries. Confidence, a part of confidence is setting boundaries for yourself, family, friends, colleagues, whatever. You got to set boundaries. And a lot of people don't set boundaries. And so, of course, it affects their confidence along the way. You got to set boundaries. And that's one of the tools I teach in my coaching programs and stuff about people setting
Nice.
boundaries. Like you got to
Yes.
set boundaries in order to do yourself good, to have healthy relationships. You got to
Yeah.
set boundaries. You can't allow people to just walk over and do whatever they want to. There's so many
Yeah.
tools that I actually teach on that, in my confidence programs and digital products about having those boundaries.
It's so important.
Because confidence is the key to everything. It's absolutely the key to believe in yourself, to go after your dreams, to step outside of the box, to strive to do better, to be better. It's all the belief within yourself. And I'm glad we had this conversation. And it's so important. There's many times I'll be like, is anybody listening? Like, do anybody want their confidence changed? It's just
Right.
being able to step outside of the box and just allow people the space to say, you know what, I'm the one. I need help.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
so what are some new things you got going on? You talked about your chocolate chick. What look, chocolate chip, I must be hungry. But what is the link that people can go to check out some of your shirts, y'all? I need to get some new shirts, but she got
Hey,
some amazing shirts under Chocolate Chick. Um,
yes.
what is the give people the link first?
Okay, so the link to Chocolate Chick Tees is chocolatechictees.net or chocolatechictees.com. You can just put in Chocolate Chick Tees, one word. It's very Googleable. It'll pop right back up for you.
Now is it
Um,
TEES?
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Chocolate teas,
TEE.
y'all.
Yeah, Chocolate Chick Tees. Google Chocolate Chick Natasha Hunter, whatever. It'll all take
Okay.
you there. This one is my uncommon. Let me sit back some. An
Uncommon and
extraordinary
extraordinary. Okay.
t-shirt. This one is special to me. It kind of goes along with the confidence, right? Because I believe that through our own experiences, we all have a unique set of gifts. We have a unique set of skills when we come out of those things.
Yes.
So I think I love this t-shirt. I love all my shirts because they're from the heart, but this is one that we brought back from spring. I'm just going to show you real quick if I can.
Okay.
We have a few different color combos,
Oh, nice.
right?
Okay.
So I
Yeah, I
try to
like
be
that red.
ready.
Ooh, vibrant.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
I
then
like
we
that
have the
peach
nice
too.
little
Okay.
melon for spring. And I love this one too. It's a lavender
Oh,
and a
wow.
nice
That
little
purple. Ooh,
spring
beautiful.
green.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got some bomb colors.
I got some bounce too, girl. And we even have the little chocolate chick
Oh,
socks.
not
They
the
come in
sock.
true length.
Now that's
So
her
those are the
logo,
link.
y'all, for the chocolate chick teas. That is the logo. Absolutely
Yes,
amazing.
yes,
It's on all
that's
of
my
her
logo
shirts.
there. So again, all that stuff you can find at chocolatechictees.net or .com. What else do I do to fulfill my heart? So that's chocolate chick, right?
Okay.
But to fulfill my heart, I substitute teach in impoverished neighborhoods.
Nice. Okay.
Kids, they need love, and I have a lot of love to give. So I'm
Awesome.
there doing that. I'm writing. I'm really not ready to come out with that yet, but I'm writing some of my experiences and things like that. So I'm getting into Natasha Hunter, the woman, not the mother, not the Navy chief, the business owner, the student, but just the woman. So
Amazing,
yeah.
amazing. I love it. I love it, Tasha. Oh my God. Y'all, we all look, we went to school together in high school in Minnesota, but we both left
Yes.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
So, and y'all all know, make sure y'all go purchase some products. Her t-shirts are absolutely amazing. I have some from her first collection. I
They
need to order
last
some new ones.
forever.
Go to chocolatechickt's.com or .net under either name.
Yes.
And y'all all know I got the conference coming up, Reclaim Your Confidence. Y'all see I got my shirt on, Reclaim Your Confidence Conference here
Woo-hoo.
in Las Vegas, Nevada, June 7th and 8th. Go get your ticket, book your
Yes.
room. You can do all that from the website, get your room, get your flight. It's going to be in the summer, so it's going to be absolutely amazing. You'll still have time to enjoy the strip if you want. Get some amazing
Awesome.
foods and all of that. You can go get your VIP or general admission. The conference is going to be absolutely amazing. So go to Reclaim Your Confidence Conference.com. You do not want to miss this amazing event. And I
And
don't
I
even want to
see,
speak on how next year going to be because I have some amazing Grammy. Look, just that was some amazing gospel singer that might be there next year. Look. Somebody has put that in my ear, so that might
I
come next
gotta
year.
say
But
something too. I see another one of our amazing homegirls slated for this year, right? Pastor Carmen Means.
yeah, Pastor Coming
Or I'm
Means, yes.
sorry, she's not married now.
Not Means, right? What is it? I forgot her last.
But we're gonna say PC,
Lewis.
Pastor
It's Lewis.
Carmen.
Pastor
Lewis,
Carmen
there
Lewis.
we go.
Yep.
Another, I'm going to vouch for that person coming to Kiwanis conference. Amazing. She christened my daughter. I love her. Dynamic woman. So
Yes.
yeah.
Y'all got to come to the conference. I'm telling you, it's going to be mind blowing. It's going to be transformational. It's definitely going to help you unlock that full potential and your unwavering confidence that you have within you that God has given you. You just have to be willing to allow it to come out. So definitely show up at the
Yes.
conference, get your ticket, Reclaim Your Confidence Conference, lock your spot in, get your, book your room, get your flight. I mean, I'm telling you, definitely get your ticket. We're already in April. It's June 7th, almost a month, 2 months from
Okay.
now. So I thank y'all for joining the confidence talk. We're here
Yes.
every Saturday with a new guest. Definitely make sure y'all go to Natasha's website, order y'all t-shirts, chocolatechickt's.com or chocolatechickt's.net. And then y'all make sure y'all go get y'all ticket for the conference with Reclaim Your
For
Confidence.
sure.
And thank you for joining y'all. If y'all just, go back and watch the replay and listen to the good conversation that we had on this amazing confidence talk. I love y'all. Y'all have a blessed and
Yes.
amazing day.
Thanks for having me.
All right, I stopped the recording.